Hi everyone, welcome to another session of United TV News Call. My name is Alatune and I'm here with you with some lovely news that we're going to be reviewing tonight. So without much ado, the first one we're talking about tonight is about a man that rejected the public marriage proposal from his older girlfriend in Anambra. I don't like that word, older girlfriend. They've been dating for like 7 years. And when the time came for the guy to propose, you now remember that she's old. So, of course, she isn't taking it quite lightly. And it is something that is very, very disheartening. So, let's quickly share this one. We're not going to be doing that much today. So, let's get cracking. So, what we're actually looking at is apparently, this lady loved this guy. They got to meet, boy meets girl. Now, time for the real thing. No show. So a lady created the scene some weeks ago at a place known as Solution City in Aqua when she publicly proposed to our far younger. Whoever wrote this in is this is ageism. This is wrong. Don't put it things like that. And the young man rejected her proposal, citing a difference. Also, the fact that it's unethical for a lady to publicly propose to a man in his culture. According to the lady, she's been dating the boy for 7 years. They both shared their separate side of the story. So we're not going to go into that. But the key question is this. Um, you know, this guy doesn't obviously feel the same way as the lady. But it could this was where the proposal actually came in. Let's see. Sorry, for those of you on
So apparently, this girl decided she was going to propose to her boyfriend, and
okay.
this was
So
what
that's the
happened.
story you're hearing now.
So I'll be interviewing them shortly to find out why the girl be courageous enough to publicly propose to her boyfriend, and I'll also be interviewing the guy to know why he refused to accept her proposal. This is their story. Now he's calling me old.
No, we're not going to go to that this night. But let me give you a breakdown of what really happened. They've been dating for about they've been dating for I think about 7 years. She actually went to one of the campuses in the southeast and to see her friend, and they were able to. So they basically met each other, and the lady said she knew that she was quite older than the guy. Not as if it's a massive amount, which is normal. So anyway, the longer short of it was that they said they're dating. She does business and she's been. So he's still in school. So she's been basically looking after him, giving him stuff, present, buying food, generally looking after the guy. So guy finished now, okay, and 7 years later, so she felt that she could actually get married to this guy. She loves him enough. I think she herself was walking blind. She should have known that something was actually off. She should definitely have known that something was actually off. But she wasn't thinking along that side. She wasn't. She was in love. She just wanted to like, man, almost ah. Anyway, what then happened is that so she planned this elaborating in one of the shopping places, a place somewhere I think in Anambra called Aqua. His friends were in the know. Okay, she's been convinced that look, no matter what, you love this guy now. So nobody was talking about that whether you know, whether the guy is in love. Now, I believe that she should have known that this guy is more of a very traditional person. There's nothing wrong in being traditional. People have their belief systems, whatever rocks your boat. But she should have known that by now, if you've been with someone for over 7 years, that at least have an idea that this guy might not really be down for this sort of thing. Anyway, she went there, did the proposal. That was the video you guys saw. So for those on TikTok, sorry, I don't have any video to share with you now. And lo and behold, The guy, man, you guys need to see the video. That was really bad. The guy turned her down. That what's the matter now? Why are you lying? In my culture, we don't. But I feel that the guy too is a silly goat. You know that this. I'm sure the guy knows that you are obviously the guy wasn't in love. He was just happy to be collecting the goodie. That was all he was actually happy with. He was happy to be collecting the coins. But anything else, he wasn't ready to do that. So now, when they ask, why did you do that to this lady? Turn out I said, she's old. Hello, what do you mean old? When you were chopping the free food and the free goat meat and cow meat and whatever, you didn't know she was old. So Amon is not old. So at the end of the day, honestly, I believe that both parties were wrong. Expectations should have been managed. The guy was just an opportunist. Let me just put it this way. The lady is the victim here. But I also blame her as well because she should have been able to tell that this guy is not really down for me. I think he's just happy to be taking my money. So she's going on, I'm the one that did this. Well, sorry, that's just the way it is. It's a terrible thing. It's happened. It's happened. Okay. So moving swiftly on. Um, the next story that I actually want to talk about has to do with in some areas in Nigeria, I would say mostly in the southeast. That is where you will see where they will say somebody is how can what's the word that they will call a baby a witch or wizard, mostly witch. I wish I could show you the picture of this boy. So what happened then was that boy accused of witchcraft, abandoned and rescued by a Danish lady, graduate from school. This guy, I mean, is just unbelievable. Very, very this honestly, from the when this boy was rescued by this Danish lady, he was looking like somebody from Afghanistan that is going through famine was looking better. This guy has scabies on his body, skin. He was looking like bag of bones. Bag of bones. I'm sure some of us will have an idea of what we're actually talking about. So it so happened that this boy, this lady actually took the boy in. Despite this boy was thrown away, he was left on the roadside. He was literally left on the roadside to fend for himself. Flies were crawling all over this boy. I don't know how, you know. Look, I up to a large extent, I'm down for culture tradition, but there are some that I question. Not that because you're trying to say you live in a Western world, and so therefore you have every goddamn right to say anything. No, there are some things we must ask questions. When we just follow blindly, then somebody will lead us by our nose to where we don't want to go. So it then happened that the story goes this way. Uh, wow, this is just for those on our other social media platform. I mean, you can actually see this. If you see the then and now, just imagine like you have this skeleton, okay, semi-skeleton, which means that you can see literally all their bones, their rib cage, everything. You can see the outline. Then fast forward, they're looking smiling, total contrast, 360 degrees opposite. This is one of the things. There's not that much story there, but there is actually. The story is that you see, you don't ever give up on anybody. You never know. You never know. Pastor Shimoris used to say something. He said, "It is not over until it is over." That is the key. This boy, if you see, you know what it is to see somebody that has been abandoned by life. They were flies. When this woman rescued this boy, he was stark naked. It couldn't have been anything more than maybe about 1 feet tall. Could hardly stand. It was like something that like the kind of skeleton model you see in a biological class, in a biology class. You can imagine. just finished primary school. If you come and see the boy from head to toe, looking brilliant, looking extremely handsome, looking great, so unbelievable that anything like this could be happening. Nobody could actually believe that. For real. You know? So it so happened that this in itself is an indicator that we don't just throw people away. You don't just throw people away. The people that accuse kids who cannot defend themselves of witchcraft or wizardry, man, God is their judge. I kid you not. It's the utmost wickedness, the most wicked thing any human being to a defenseless child, a child that can hardly articulate. If you see the picture of this boy, there's nothing. He's a skeleton. Now, if you come and see him now, glowing, all his cheeks filled out, looking robust, fresh. God will help us. We have to stop this nonsense. We have to. That is not culture. You cannot call that culture. I don't know where that madness came from, but that is not culture. And we will not be. Any right thinking person would know that you don't accuse a child of witchcraft or wizardry that cannot even pronounce their name yet. Don't let me overflow that. It's very disheartening. But I'm just so happy, that it has happy ending. It's really, really. Let me see. Let me show you guys something now. Let me look at my tab. It's you guys need to see it because me saying it, you won't appreciate the unless somebody actually sees this. That's when they will really know that good Lord, there are wicked people in this life. Seriously. And the child was already abandoned before the Naira I got that news from Naira. I'm sure a lot of us know Naira. They are my go-to news people. Very lovely set of people. See? It's really, 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 really bad. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at it. Oh. Sorry guys, I couldn't bring this up for you. So that's just what it is. It pays to do good. It pays. So let's see. Moving swiftly on. Our next storyline is the Naramali saga. We still have it on. Naramali actually came out not too long ago, talking about how he has been exonerated. And he has. Nobody, all the accusation and everything. This guy gave his own side of the story. Because everybody has calmed down, people were listening. But unfortunately, we still have some people who are still, how can I put it, who are still hell bent on holding somebody to account, despite the fact that the evidence suggests otherwise. Why? I don't know why Mohbad's father will still hold on to this narrative that it was Naira Marley that was behind the whole thing. I mean, come on. I don't want to say much because, quite frankly, when all of this happened, I didn't put too much into it because I know how sad the whole issue. I just knew that it's very easy. I'm sorry, but Mohbad's father has not exactly done himself any favors. He has tried to sing the song to be like his son. I don't think it's proper. It's not. What's he trying to do? He has said all sorts of manner of things that it is his glory that his son is using. If your son is using your glory, be happy now. Now the guy is dead. You are trying to put yourself in his position. It's a lie. Naira Marley mistreated my son. Mohbad's father refutes singer's claim. The father of the late Nigerian singer Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad, has once again spoken out about the challenges his son faced before his ultimate death, accusing Naira Marley of mistreatment despite the singer's uh, recent denial. In an exclusive interview with Sunday School, Joseph Aloba dismissed the claim by the controversial Malian record boss, who earlier in the week released a video stating he had no hand in Mohbad's struggles or tragic passing. According to Naira Marley, his role was to guide the young artist, especially after discovering his alleged involvement with hard substance. Mohbad's father speaks out. Mr. Joseph Aloba, Mohbad's father, says, I went to see Naira Marley over some of the things Mohbad had said, and that was all. But later, a lot of other things happened that I personally witnessed. There were about three other people present at that time. Two of them are still alive today. They were working with Naira Marley, even though they were younger and under him. One of them once came to me to report that Naira Marley was beating Mohbad. He further clarified, when we went to see him to apologize, he wasn't even speaking respectfully. People think I went there to collect money, but life is much more than just what I want to eat or Mohbad's financial transaction. Addressing recent claims that Mohbad used an unfamiliar bank account for transaction, Aloba confirmed that Naira Marley had raised concern about the matter. Naira Marley complained to me that Mohbad was collecting money with an account that is not his and that he had to force him to use his personal account. I also know that he was sending me money from a strange account, and I warned him that anything he wants to give me should come from his own account. That's what I know about the account issue. The controversy around Mohbad's career, financial dealings, and ultimately death continue to spark debate and call for justice within the Nigerian music industry. One of the key things that I did ask was, what is the lesson learned in all of this? For most of the people that were actually involved in all of this, upcoming artists, star is shining, then people just literally just forget the golden rules that brought them up to that place and begin to do what? Just begin to forget where they're coming from. I can tell you that when things are happening for people, there are a lot of things. I don't know so much about this guy apart from what I've read, so I'm not going to be making sort of judgment. But what thing I do know is this: is that discipline needs to be involved. There needs to be a whole lot of discipline. That means that he has a mentor in Naira Marley. Love him, hate him, Naira Marley basically has been doing well. I've had people say in our office that have worked with me in the past few years. So I can understand some things there. These are people that are quite talented. Man, these people don't want to know. They think life is auto mode, that when you don't plan, it means that the fact is that when you don't plan, you plan to fail. One thing is to plan, another thing is to apply, execute those plans accordingly. But most of them don't want to do that. They just want to have fun. Like, yes, I'm a star. I'm a star. Yes, say that you are a star. Yes. I mean, look, it's tragic. The bit that I actually know about his story is quite tragic in the sense that, he obviously has some, I don't know, crazy friends. And most of these people don't love this guy. Then the family setting around him was just messy. That's part of what we just wrote about Mr. Aloba. Don't know anything about him. But I do know that some of these actions after Mohbad died leaves a lot to be desired. He has said a lot of things allegedly that I'm hoping that he never said those things. Some of the things I've been able to read sounds like something from Nollywood that I don't want to believe. Like saying stuff like Mohbad was using his Blu-ray. What the heck is that? Anyway. Well, success is good, but it must have control. It must be disciplined. In order to go far, it must be. And people who are naturally talented in this area needs to put themselves under somebody. But once people detect that this person is a rising star, they will begin to say, don't mind them, don't listen to that man. They are trying to kill your star. Well, that's what they did to Mubad. So whether he was responsible, because the whole thing, there's just so many angles to this thing. I think this will be the last time, although I never spoke about it that much. But this will be the last time I think I'll be talking about it, about Mubad. I can have peace. Right. So, last but not the least, I don't know whether you guys heard about the Abuja Kaduna, um, the train derailed. There's so much that I actually heard about it, and I'm thinking, why do we get into why do we get into all of this? How is it possible? You see, it's very easy for a nation to say, we have skyscrapers, we have this, we have that. You need maintenance culture to be able to keep it at par. Maintenance culture. I heard something, an allegation. I don't know whether this is true, but I'm saying this allegedly that this particular route has to that was in fact that it was inaugurated by the former president Goodluck Jonathan, and it's been said allegedly that this particular area, that this rail track has not been maintained since then. It's plausible, isn't it? When you look at our track record, just imagine, how is that even possible? If you see the way the video and the pictures of how that, it's unbelievable, totally unbelievable that we can actually have something like that. Somebody said Naira Marley Nation is a bad group. Okay. All I just want to say is that, you see, with great success comes with great responsibility. People's lives are at stake. If indeed it is actually true, because look, these claims are not they are not verified. But if it is indeed investigated and it's found that they've not actually been maintaining this track, head must roll. Head must roll. How can you have things? You don't become a leader with just mouth. Don't. It's not just a matter of just saying that I'm successful. I'm successful. You are the giant of Africa. I love Nigeria. But may we not remain potential? I mean, how would you? I don't. Thank God nobody died. Thank God nobody died. We have a lot of challenges that's actually besetting the country. And I believe at the root of everything, look, you can, if you believe in that, please, I want people to make comment that our national psyche is our problem. Nigeria national psyche, that is our problem. We have issue with our nationals. This thing that we believe that we can just truncate law and order, not follow the rules. In Nigeria, we believe that anybody that does not follow rules, must be Baba, saying a power man. All the other people, if you line up in a place, you go to a bank, as soon as a small person, you don't have power. So we have elevated that to an art where when people don't follow the rules, we are like, man, that guy is a top guy. Normal rules don't apply. Like they are not human beings. Are they spirits or are they angels who the law of nature do not apply to? That is what we have done. That is part of what we are seeing. If it is true indeed, let me repeat that, allegedly, that they didn't maintain that track, that's the kind of thing that happens to people. People's lives will be at risk especially when you have critical infrastructure that lives depend on. I'm sure our constitutional framework does not allow for this nonsense. I absolutely believe that it doesn't. So why are we so bent on then doing things at the end of the day that does not, that puts our people at risk? Africa is a rising star. It's not enough to be a rising star. We have better be an effective and efficient with the right character and right attitude. We can have all these great raw materials that we said that they have that we have in Africa. But if we don't have the right mindset, character, attitude, those are the things that will sustain the success. It's not enough. It's not enough to call yourself something great when your attitude and character does not align with those things. There will always be failure. I mean, imagine we have crude oil. Look at how much we're buying petrol. So anyway, well, folks, that is just me for tonight. So I just want to, basically just actually wrap up here that I'm going to be back again next week. These are for the other platform, but I am still. If you want to follow us there, you can still go on our TikTok on Gniger TV on TikTok. So we're still on there. But for our YouTube and Facebook, guys, good night. Sorry, someone said how to make it in life. 6 injured in Abuja Kaduna train accident. So I'm just seeing this now. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's a good one. But let's mind, you see, the power of one. If every Nigerian have the right mindset and the mind character, we can do great and mighty things. There's nothing will stop us. It's not something that is unique to those from Nigeria. We have issues right across Africa. Right across Africa. Look at Ibrahim Traore. He's doing great things. He is doing great things. They've tried to kill him. They tried to strangle him. That guy is, I mean, come on. I want to travel to Burkina Faso. Please, can somebody tell me how I can get there from Nigeria? I want to go there to go and see things. I want to actually go there. In fact, I should be saying how I can get there from the UK down to Burkina Faso. What we're hearing, is like they're great things. My prayer is that God will keep that guy safe. So, like I said, from me, for those on YouTube and on Facebook, it's good night. I'll see you tomorrow. So let me now focus on the bros on TikTok. I can